Hello everyone. My name is Lizzie Levins, and today I'll be trying to convince you all that red is the best color out there. What are your favorite colors?
Blue.
Blue is a very common answer. However, I think that the color red has the most interesting story. A story that I will be sharing with you all today. A story that began millions of years ago. But first, a quick stop in ancient Greece. Many of you are probably familiar with the Odyssey, written by Homer over 2,500 years ago, in which he describes the sea as being wine-colored. But why? Was the sunset creating a tint on the water? Or perhaps the color was a symbol of approaching storms? The wording confused people for centuries until linguists uncovered an important detail. Ancient Greeks did not have a word for the color blue. But with this information, even more questions arose. Could they not see that color at all, or did they just leave it unnamed? There was a hypothesis held by Hugo Magnus and William Gladstone in 1877, in which they hypothesized that through evolution's process of natural selections, humans went from seeing a hazy, grayscale view of the world to one with more vibrant colors. In their theory, they assumed that red was the first color for humans to be able to see simply because it was the most intense. That over time, with improved retina sensitivity, humans would evolve to see more vibrant colors. In these two images, you can see his hypothesis come into play. The image on the right shows what modern Europeans would see. The image on the left shows what he hypothesized the ancient Greeks would see. You can see the reds are the same hues, the same bright, vibrant color. But the Greeks saw the blues and greens in a much more muted tone. Although his theory was incorrect, there have been evolutionary changes in the way humans perceive color. 90 million years ago, ancestral mammals that are similar to humans could see two wavelength ranges of light. Those two were ultraviolet light and, you guessed it, red light. Over the course of 60 million years, these mammals lost the ability to see ultraviolet light, and it got replaced with what we now call visible light. That's one of the reasons as to why red is such an incredible color. It is the only color that our ancestors from millions of years ago could see, that we can still see to this day. To take this even further, we can look at a linguistic perspective, which is arguably more relevant to Homer's wine-colored sea dilemma. Researchers Paul Kay and Brent Berlin published a book in 1969 in which they claimed a groundbreaking hypothesis. They believed that as all languages develop, color words are created in the exact same order. Color words in English are words like orange, purple, gray, brown, and blue. Certain colors were named first, and then over time, as the language evolved, more names were given to more colors for the sake of specificity. Berlin and Kay discovered that throughout all languages across the globe, the order in which color words are invented remains the same. And this groundbreaking idea helped explain why ancient Greeks did not have a word for the color blue. The order in which color words are invented is fascinating. First come words for light and dark, white and black, then red. After that, there's yellow, green, blue, brown, and so on. But before all these other ones, red is first, because there's something very special about the color red. This means that languages with only 3 color categories have words that mean black, white, and red. The word white would include all bright colors. Black would encompass darker colors and purples, blues, and greens. And the word red would also be used for oranges, yellows, and pinks. In these languages, they just simply don't have a need to further specify what different colors are, like orange and purple. This leads to an inability to distinguish certain colors like blue and green, for example. This accepted theory would help explain why Homer didn't describe the sea as being blue or turquoise. They didn't have a word for that in ancient Greece, and therefore Homer probably did see the water as being more wine-colored. But the story of the color red becomes even more interesting when we rewind further back and look at cave paintings. Red is, not surprisingly, one of the very first colors that humans used in art to express themselves. You can see in these cave paintings here that there are main colors used in these images. Those colors are black, white, and red, the same colors that are invented first in developing languages. The image of its hands is a primary example of this, where you can see those three colors. The bison, found in a cave in Spain, has very bright red colors that show that red was more commonly used than other colors, despite other pigments being available to people at that time. That was a while ago, when red played a symbolic role in the way early humans expressed themselves. But the color red has stood the test of time. There is something very fascinating and unique about the color red. It is a symbol of love, hate, passion, fury, romance, and war. Power. No other color has such starkly contrasting and strong symbols to go along with it. The color blue, for example, can symbolize serenity and sadness, and while these two ideas conflict with each other, it is not nearly to the same degree in which love and hate express opposite ideas. Perhaps Magnus's theory about the evolution of color perception was incorrect, but he certainly wasn't lying when he said that red was the most intense color out there. But why does this matter? A symbol is just a symbol, unless there are real-world applications to go along with it. Here are some of those applications. Red is a color that is used in many flags across the world, 4 of which are shown here. And each time, the color red symbolizes something. In the Albanian flag, red represents strength, courage, and sacrifice. In the flag of Indonesia, red represents courage and the blood of the Indonesian people. In the flag of Japan, the red circle is symbolic of the sun, and in the flag of China, the red is symbolic of the Chinese Revolution. Notice any common themes? The color red is used to express power and strength. It's a beautiful thing for a color to be able to represent these ideas for a people. Additionally, in China, red has become a symbol of good fortune, prosperity, and celebration. And it just goes to show how much this color can influence cultures in today's world. But red is so eye-catching that it can be taken advantage of. I'm sure many audience members recognize these well-known brands shown on screen. These companies use red because it is the most attention-grabbing color out there. Your eye goes to it instantly. Additionally, red is known to stimulate appetite for the food brands that you see on screen. Overall, these corporations have created red logos for themselves because they know it will attract more customers. That's how powerful red is. Even the TED Talk logo is red, and you're all here watching this now. I'm sure the red really drew you in. Street signs. Every time you go in your car, you are bombarded with street signs. What's the most important sign out there? Well, according to Google, a very reliable source as we all know, it's the stop sign. And I happen to agree. In fact, in European countries, stop signs aren't translated to the languages spoken in those countries. They just have it in English because the color red is so powerful that its symbol is the same across the entire globe. Additionally, looking at the red that is used in other street signs, you can see they have similar messages. Don't bike here, don't park here, don't enter here, don't turn here. The message is very clear. No, you are not allowed. Did you know 9 in 10 Americans admit to speeding? Look at this sign, black and white, I can probably ignore it. But this one in bright red, I need to pay attention to that one. Pop culture is another way in which the color red has influenced modern society. You have a big halftime show coming up? Wear red. Going to the Grammys? Red is a great choice for you. Paris Fashion Week event? Red is the way to go. If you're going to be presenting a TED Talk, I recommend wearing red. You'll feel more confident going into it. If you want to make a statement and the world is watching you, red is the way to go. Overall, red is an extraordinary color. In every language across the globe, it is the first color to be named. It is more eye-catching than any other color out there. Red is beautiful, and hopefully, I've convinced you all that it is the best color. Thank you.